Welcome back to RPV City Talk. I'm Liz Brown Swanson here at Lower Point Vicente at the site of the proposed Annenberg project. Joining me now with the Annenberg Foundation is the General Manager, Jackie Giacola. Great to have you here on this gorgeous sunny day right here by the ocean. It's beautiful out there today, huh?
Yes, thank you, Liz.
And I have to add windy. Just for starters, Jackie, just talk about exactly what the foundation is proposing to build here at this site at Lower Point Vicente.
We've been working with the community for several years to see how we might enhance the passive recreation and learning opportunities here at Lower Point Vicente. Right now, as you can see, the site is very dry and weedy, and a lot of it is inaccessible. So what we're envisioning is opening up the park, putting in a lot of native landscape, creating more picnic areas and a lot of user-friendly trails where people can come and enjoy just a walk, or families and children can come learn about the history of the peninsula and the opportunities in nature that surround us here. As you enter PVIC, there will be enhanced immersive learning experiences. You'll be able to step into a Spanish rancho and learn about that part of the peninsula's history, or explore a whaler's shack. Or you can still do the things you enjoy here at PVIC and step out onto the terrace and see the marine mammals that are naturally frolicking and playing probably as we speak right now. There is an outpost that acts as a welcoming center, and visitors can first go there. They'll be greeted by a docent, and they can start to learn about the history of the peninsula and the terrestrial life and the nature that surrounds them at Lower Point Vicente. And in the new education center, you'll be able to meet with a behaviorist and learn more about the four-footed friends that live with us in our homes. There might be an opportunity to talk with an adoption counselor, and they can help you choose a future pet for you. We've been working very closely with the docents and the staff at PVIC. We've been working on enhancing their indoor exhibits, and also they've had a desire to expand the learning opportunities into the outdoors. So there's a proposed Tongva Village, an archaeological dig, and also interactive features on the trail that will help learn about the local flora and fauna as well.
Talk about the funding for this project. I think I'm hearing around a $40 million price tag. How is this entirely funded by the foundation?
The enhancements for the park would be a charitable gift from the Annenberg Foundation, and we would also endow the ongoing maintenance and support for the operation of the park.
Elaborate on how this project will benefit, all ages. I mean, we think of it as an education center for school groups to come, obviously, but really what's here for the entire community.
The park would be beautifully landscaped and just really something for everyone. You could come here and take a walk, you could enjoy a picnic, you could go into PVIC and learn a little bit more about local history, you could enjoy the features of the outpost and learn about the things that live around us on the peninsula, or enter the new education center and learn more about the animals that live with us in our homes.
As I know, you've been out in the community a lot talking to get feedback from residents. Some of the concerns are, why do we want this project right here on our coastline? This is a great project. Maybe it should go somewhere else. But there's a lot of also myths and misconceptions. So how do you address those, and what to you think are some of the misconceptions out there?
The entire proposal for the park is fully integrated with PVIC, and really we're exploring our relationship with marine life, terrestrial life, peninsula history, and then animals that live with us in our homes. So really the project couldn't happen anywhere else because we already have the experience here at PVIC, and that will just be enhanced and have a little something for everyone. We've been out in the community over 100 times getting feedback and listening to people with their ideas and thoughts on the project. There are some misconceptions, however. Some people are worried about the size of the building, and really we've been sensitive to dig down into the landscape so that the building really sits below Palos Verdes Drive, so essentially you're going to have the same view that you do now, and your eyes will be drawn to the ocean. We also have a green roof, so there will be native grasses on the roof, so the building just does tuck and blend into the site quite nicely. Also, people have been concerned about the number of animals, live animals that will be in the building available for adoption. And to set the record straight, there are 10 adoption rooms for cats and 10 for dogs. So really, it's all about learning and hands-on experience and our whole relationship with every living thing.
In terms of that whole component, though, of having the Animal Companion Center, where does that come from? That, Wallace Annenberg is very passionate about educating the community about the importance of our companion animals. Talk about that and the relationship, how you tie it all together.
It's very important that we learn to live and appreciate all the things that live around us. Where at PVIC we're focusing on marine life, at the proposed outdoor exhibits we'll be learning about the lizards and the vegetation and everything that we encounter on the trails normally. And it's equally as important to appreciate and understand better the animals that live in our homes with us.
What have you enjoyed most about personally working on this project and being part of the foundation?
It's really been a joy to work with the community and see the project evolve over time, and we've been blessed to be out there again over 100 times with community groups and working with the docents and the exhibits committee and the staff as well to really enhance the opportunities here at Lower Point Vicente. We really believe if the project is realized that it will be embraced by the community the same way in which the Interpretive Center has. So we're very excited.
Well, I'm sure we'll see you out here again. Thanks for all you're doing. Stay tuned. More to come here on RPV City Talk. Don't go away. All right, joining me now here at Point Vicente Interpretive Center, I have with me Leonard Aubie, the Executive Director of the Annenberg Foundation, also our local boy here, member of our community. Always great to see you. You've been out in the community in the recent years discussing the ongoing project. But what I'd like to talk with you about is the Annenberg Foundation itself. Just some background history. First, how it all started, where you actually came, where the Annenberg Foundation became interested in being here on the peninsula.
Well, the backstory goes back a little bit before that, and you have to go back to really the formation of the foundation. So our foundation was created in effect because Ambassador Annenberg sold the remaining assets of the family business to Rupert Murdoch in the late 1980s. And when we think about the Annenberg Foundation, the corpus of the foundation came from the proceeds of the sale of the company. But fast forward a little more than a decade, after Ambassador passed away in 2002, his spouse, Lenore Annenberg, stepped in as board chair, and that's when Wallace Annenberg became an officer, vice president of the foundation, and then her 3 adult-grown children, Lauren Bond, Charlie, and Gregory, joined the foundation as trustees. And so now, today, Wallace is the chairman of the board of the Annenberg Foundation, and the headquarters of the foundation has been moved from Radnor, Pennsylvania to Century City, California. And so that happened about 15 months ago now.
How did you connect with the foundation, and why are you passionate about being part of it?
Right. Well, in the early stages of this, Wallace Annenberg was very involved at University Park at USC, and also Exposition Park, essentially across the street from USC. And as she began to prepare the foundation with the other members of the family to have a regional presence here in greater Los Angeles, I was hired to effectively help the family get established in Los Angeles and begin to develop a programmatic vision for the foundation, and one thing led to the other. So our grant making in this region, the foundation trustees have authorized hundreds and hundreds of grants, which have included the greater South Bay up to and including the peninsula.
I think you mentioned in the past when we've talked, the foundation is the 8th largest private philanthropy in the country. I don't know if that's correct or something around that. I mean,
it depends on how you look at it. Depends if you look at pure assets or in grant making. Actually, by grant making over the last 5 years, the Annenberg Foundation has been about the 5th largest, one of the most productive grant-making organizations. The trustees have authorized more than $1 billion in charitable grants over the last 5 years. But by overall assets, we're about the 20th or so largest in the country.
Okay.
Yep.
So now let's get us to here, the Palos Verdes Peninsula. I believe it did start with the open space acquisition and the Annenberg's contribution to that.
Well, it did. In effect, the Annenberg Foundation received an unsolicited proposal from the Palos Verdes Peninsula Land Conservancy to help advance the open space campaign to acquire property just south of this site. And it was in response to that particular proposal, Wallace and the board wound up making a matching grant in effect to help finish off that campaign. So that was, in a way, her reintroduction to the peninsula.
And then when she came here, I think you also mentioned to me that one thing behind your foundation is that you're looking for things with a vision. And then you saw the vision of the open space movement, and that sort of brought this on with the vision plan and all that?
Well, it started with the proposal from the Land Conservancy, and then the city actually followed up with a joint proposal with the city and the Land Conservancy to develop what was called a strategy around a vision plan to look at a number of city asset sites and whether or not there could be a way to develop a master plan or an overarching vision for the stewardship of these various sites. So Upper Point Vicente, Lower Point Vicente, Abalone Cove, Portuguese Bend and Del Cerro Park were essentially those sites, and then that evolved, and then the Annenberg Foundation made a secondary grant to help fund that vision plan.